Good evening. This is CTV News for Thursday, March 23rd. I'm Patricia Vallone.
And I'm Byron Scott. Glad to have you with us tonight. Well, Rockville High School has beefed up its police presence after receiving threats because of the alleged rape of a 14-year-old girl at the school.
The incident has sparked outrage and concern among parents that are worried about safety. Rochelle Metzger is joining us now with reaction from state and local officials. Rochelle?
That's right, Byron, Patty. Montgomery County public school officials say the volume of threatening calls and emails they've received over the past 4 to 5 days has been tremendous, and they've been targeting the school, Rockville High School, the school system, and individuals. 2 students at Rockville High School, 18-year-old Henry Sanchez and 17-year-old Jose Montano, are charged with first-degree rape and being held without bail. Police say the sexual assault of a freshman girl allegedly occurred in a bathroom in the school last week. The case has heightened emotions over immigration because Sanchez, who lived in Guatemala, entered the country illegally. It's also sparking fears about school safety. Montgomery County officials confirm they've been getting hundreds of threatening calls and hate-laced emails.
We don't have all the information. It is an ongoing investigation, and we kind of want to let everybody do their jobs. But, I think that the school system is taking it seriously, the police are taking it seriously, and obviously there's a federal component to it that they've got to pay attention to.
The vitriol has gotten out of control. Some of the calls are racist, xenophobic, and we really want people to take a step back and think about the students who are at the center of this, who have been affected by this.
Look at what we could do better to ensure the safety of every one of our students. I'm the mom of 2 and the grandmother of 2, and I know that when I sent my daughters to MCPS, I expected them to be safe, and I really felt they were. It's a terrible, horrible situation that happened. We all have to learn from it and analyze what could be done differently.
The defense attorney for Sanchez has spoken to the media, telling reporters that his client is absolutely innocent and is a scapegoat, claiming the sex at the school was consensual. Now, the threats that they have been receiving are violent in nature, but right now officials say there are no credible threats. They are taking steps, including the increased police presence at Rockville High School to increase security as well as safety, and that's short-term and long-term policy changes and staffing changes to address the issue.
Okay. All right, thank you, Rochelle. Well, Governor Larry Hogan and Education Secretary Betsy DeVos were confronted by a large and loud group of protesters during a stop in Montgomery County this morning. The pair stopped by Carter Rock Springs Elementary to mark National Reading Month. While the tone inside was light, protesters outside carried signs opposing policies supported by Hogan and DeVos, including voucher programs that parents can use to pay for private school.
Things can happen and frequently do to people as brainy and footsie as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew.
I'm here to protest Betsy DeVos and her policies, and also to protest that our Governor Hogan of Maryland, brought her here to really endorse her policies. And I think that's completely unacceptable, because Maryland and Montgomery County don't want vouchers, and we don't want Trump's education policy in our state.
MCPS has so many diverse schools, so many schools where there are actually kids in need, where we have a higher population of immigrants, where we have a higher population of kids with special needs. She came to a school where the choice that people make to send their kids to this school is that they can choose to spend at least $900,000 to buy a house in this neighborhood so that they can go to school here.
And since taking office, protesters have followed DeVos. She was physically confronted at a public school in Washington shortly after being sworn in. There was plenty of security on hand today, but other than some passionate chanting, the rally remained peaceful.
A child is sent to the hospital and is in critical condition after being hit by a vehicle early this morning. The accident happening just before 7 a.m. at the intersection of Old Crane Highway and Queens Court in Upper Marlboro. State police say the driver stayed on the scene. The incident is still under investigation.
Governor Hogan's congressional redistricting plan is voted down in the Senate, which effectively kills his proposal to redraw Maryland's legislative districts. The 30-16 vote came on an amendment to a Democratic redistricting bill. The amendment would have erased a measure by Democrats and substituted language from Hogan's rejected bill. The governor proposed creating an independent commission to redraw the state's 8 congressional districts. Government watchdog groups have spoken out in favor of reforming the current system.
More than 2,300 school kids from pre-K to second grade were suspended from Maryland schools last year. Those numbers have prompted legislative action in Annapolis. The Senate passing a measure yesterday by a 32-15 vote restricting the use of suspensions for young children. Senator Will Smith tells the Baltimore Sun that school districts should focus on less punitive measures. The House adopted similar legislation.